year 209 AC, House Ashford convened a tourney upon the broad fields known as Ashford Meadow. The occasion was celebratory. Lord Ashford's daughter had reached her 13th name day. Yet what began in pageantry would end in mourning. The lists were arranged with deliberate care. 5 lanes were set north to south so that no jouster rode with the sun in his eyes. A raised viewing stand stood upon the eastern side of the field, sheltered beneath an orange canopy. The young maiden sat beside her father as Queen of Love and Beauty. 5 champions were chosen to defend her honor. All others rode as challengers. Any knight who unhorsed a champion would take his place on Champion's Lane. After 3 days, those 5 who remained would determine whether the maiden retained her crown. Those defeated in the list would forfeit their horses and armor to the victor and be offered a chance to ransom it back. To challenge a champion, one need only ride up to their tent on Champion's Lane and strike the champion's shield to declare their challenge. The original champions were Sir Andrew Ashford, the eldest son and heir of Lord Ashford; Lord Leo Tyrell, the Lord of Highgarden and head of House Tyrell; Sir Robert Ashford, the younger son of Lord Ashford; Sir Humphrey Harding from House Harding. Sir Humphrey was a tourney knight of renown. He won a great melee at Maidenpool in 208 AC and overthrew Sir Donald of Duskendale and Lords Arryn and Royce in the lists. And Prince Baelor Targaryen, known as the Young Prince, second in line to the Iron Throne. He was the oldest son of Baelor Breakspear. Prince Valar's father, Baelor Targaryen, Prince of Dragonstone, heir to the Iron Throne and Hand of the King, attended the tournament, not to participate but to watch his son compete. Also present were Prince Maekar Targaryen, the 4th son of King Daeron II, Maekar's eldest son Prince Daeron, his 2nd son Prince Aerion, and his youngest son Prince Aegon. However, Prince Daeron and young Aegon had gone missing upon the road to Ashford, and Prince Maekar set out before the day's jousting began in search of them. The 5 champions had raised their pavilions at the north end of the lists with the river behind them. When the horns blew to summon the challengers, all 5 of the maid's champions were called forth to defend her. Heralds boomed out the name of each knight in turn. They paused before the viewing stand to dip their lances in salute to Lord Ashford, Prince Baelor, and the fair maid, then took the places upon the field. The grey lion of Casterly Rock struck the shield of Lord Tyrell, whilst his golden-haired heir, Tybalt Lannister, struck the shield of Sir Andrew Ashford. Lord Medgar Tully of Riverrun tapped the shield of Sir Humphrey Harding, whilst Abelar Hightower knocked upon Prince Valar's shield. The younger Ashford, Sir Robert, was challenged by Sir Lionel Baratheon, the Laughing Storm. The jousting began in orderly fashion. 10 pairs of gilded spurs drove into the flanks of 10 great war horses. 1,000 voices began to cheer and shout, and challengers and champions came together in a clash of wood and steel. When the commons realized all 10 of the lances had broken, a great roar of approval went up. It was a splendid omen for the success of the tourney and a testament to the skill of the competitors. Sir Tybalt Lannister and Sir Andrew Ashford tilted 6 times against each other, before Sir Andrew finally lost shield, seat, and match all. The younger Ashford lasted even longer, breaking no less than 9 lances against Sir Lionel Baratheon, the Laughing Storm. With both competitors being unhorsed only to rise together to fight on, sword against mace, finally a battered Sir Robert Ashford admitted defeat. Both Lord Ashford's son had been ushered from the ranks of the champions, it was true, but they had acquitted themselves nobly against 2 of the finest knights in the 7 kingdoms, and Lord Ashford stood proud. Lord Leo Tyrell aimed his lance so expertly he ripped the Grey Lion's helm cleanly off his head. Barefaced Lord Daemon Lannister raised his hand in salute and dismounted, yielding the match. Lord Medgar Tully was unhorsed by Sir Humphrey Harding, but sprang to his feet and drew his long sword. Sir Humphrey dismounted to continue their fight on foot. Sir Humphrey beat Lord Tully into surrender, showing himself as skilled with a sword as he was with a lance. Prince Valar defeated Sir Baelor Hightower in 2 tilts. Sir Baelor was lifted from his stirrups and dashed violently to the ground. His squire ran out, loosened his helm and called for help, and 2 serving men lifted the dazed knight by the arms to help him to his pavilion. Sir Tybalt Lannister and the Laughing Storm would now take their places amongst the champions, replacing the men they had defeated. For the rest of the morning, it was more of the same. Challengers took the field in 2s or 3s, and sometimes 5 together. Trumpets blew, the heralds called out names, and war horses charged. Lances snapped like twigs, and swords rang against helms. Small folk and high lord alike agreed it was a splendid day of jousting. Sir Humphrey Harding and Sir Humphrey Beesbury, a bold young knight in yellow and black stripes with 3 beehives on his shield, splinted no less than a dozen lances apiece in an epic struggle the small folk soon begun calling the Battle of Humphrey. Sir Tybalt Lannister was unhorsed by Sir John Penrose and broke his sword in his fall, but fought back with shield alone to win the bout and remain champion. Sir Robin Riesling, a grizzled old knight, who had lost an eye to a splinter from a broken lance 5 years earlier, lost his helm to Lord Leo's lance in their first course, yet refused to yield. 3 more times they rode against each other, broken shards flying around his exposed face. Lord Leo was too chivalrous to aim another lance at his face. Finally, the Lord of Highgarden struck Sir Robin's breastplate and sent him cartwheeling to the earth. Sir Lionel Baratheon also fought several notable matches. He would often break into booming laughter the moment his shield was touched by a competitor, and continued to laugh even as he struck his opponents to the ground. He grew a habit of striking off decorative crests opponents wore on their helms and flinging them into the crowd, to the annoyance of his opponents, but to the love of the commoners, making him a favorite. Among the many gathered that first day stood an unknown Hedge knight, whose actions would soon draw the notice of princes. As the day marched on and the contests progressed, many believed Sir Humphrey Harding had taken the day's honors, humbling 14 knights, each one of them formidable. The young Prince Valar had won 9 victories, though some would claim them hollow, beating old men and high lords of low skill, with truly dangerous men riding past his tent and shield as if they didn't see it. It was late in the day when brazen fanfare announced a new challenger who rode on a great red charger. It was Prince Aerion Brightflame, the second son of Maekar. He rode past Lord Leo and the Laughing Storm's pavilions, pausing at Valar's tent, The young prince rose from his seat to meet him, and Aerion laughed and moved on to strike the shield of Sir Humphrey Harding, stating, "It's time you faced the dragon." As the two competitors charged, Sir Aerion's lance aimed low, too low. It struck Sir Humphrey's horse, just above where the armor protecting his chest bone sat, and then exploded out the back of its neck. Sir Humphrey tried to leap free, but his foot was caught in the stirrup and his leg was crushed between the splintered fence and the fallen horse. A great outcry rose from the field. Men rushed forward to pull horse and rider apart, but the horse kicked out at them in its death throes. Aerion rode to the end of the lists and wheeled his horse about, galloped back to the fallen knight, vaulted from his horse and drew his sword before advancing on his fallen foe. The prince's own squires had to pull him back and prevent him from striking down his wounded foe. By the time the chaos had been set to rights, the sun was low in the west, and Lord Ashford had called a halt. Lord Ashford declared Sir Humphreys the victor and awarded him Prince Aerion's courser. But despite the care of Prince Baelor's maester, Sir Humphrey's leg had been broken in 2 places, and he would be unable to continue. No man died in the jousts of the day. The event that altered the course of the tourney did not occur beneath the lances, but among the many stalls that had popped up, creating a makeshift fair. In the evening of the first day, a Dornish puppeteer named Tansel performed before the gathered nobles. Her show included a wooden dragon being slain by a knight. Prince Aerion Targaryen had happened upon the show and took offense. He flew into a rage at the sight of a dragon being slain and begun to destroy the stall with the help of his men. He took Tansel, who pleaded with him to stop, but Aerion forced open her hand and seized one of her fingers, snapping it. At the same time, his men set fire to her stall and smashed the fallen puppets. At that moment, a hedge knight, newly sworn and of no great lineage, intervened. His name was Sir Duncan the Tall. The royal livery stepped up to stop him, but the big knight shoved him to the ground. Shoving through his men, he reached Aerion and tossed him to the floor. When the prince went for his knife, Dunk stepped on his wrist and kicked the prince in the mouth. Finally, the prince's men overpowered the young knight and wrestled him to the ground. Had it not been for the intervention of an unlikely subject, Prince Aerion would have had his men kill Sir Duncan right there and then. Fortunately for Sir Duncan, the boy he had taken on as his squire, thinking him a lowly stable boy, was none other than one of the missing princes, Aegon Targaryen, the 4th son of Maekar. Aegon demanded that they stop hurting Sir Duncan, invoking the name of his father and uncle. However, to raise a hand against a prince of the realm demanded judgment. Lord Ashford's men confined Sir Duncan to a cell to await judgment. The second day of the tournament went by. Lances were broken, crowds cheered, and Duncan the Tall sat in his cell wondering what fate lay before him. Then at dusk, after he was given food, Sir Duncan was brought before Prince Baelor. Baelor informed Sir Duncan that Aerion had twisted the tale into high treason, calling the slaying of a dragon a veiled threat against House Targaryen and an incitement to revolt. Maekar had also found his eldest heir, Daeron Targaryen, drunk in a tavern, and when confronted, Daeron had claimed a huge robber knight had made off with Aegon. and that he had spent all these days pursuing Sir Duncan hither and yon to win back his brother. Prince Baelor knew the truth of it, however, but he had no choice but to allow a trial, which would be presided over by Prince Baelor, Prince Maekar, Lord Ashford, whose domains the crime occurred in, and Lord Tyrell, his liege lord. And should Sir Duncan lose the trial, he would lose a hand and a foot along with it. However, Prince Baelor pointed out that Sir Duncan had another choice. As a knight of the Seven Kingdoms, he could demand a trial by combat. And so he asked Sir Duncan one very simple question. How good a knight are you? But when Sir Duncan stood before his accuser and demanded a trial by combat, Prince Aerion called for a trial by 7, as was his right. And when questioned as to why he would not face Sir Duncan alone, he stated that his elder brother, Prince Daeron, had also been wronged and deserved the right to claim first blood, though Daeron did not seem keen to be included. Trial by 7 was an archaic and formidable variant of trial by combat, rooted in Andal custom. Each side would name 7 champions. The 14 would fight until one side yielded or was unable to continue. The judgment was left to the gods, whose will was presumed to manifest through victory. Such trials had not been seen in a century. By 209 AC, the practice had fallen into near obsolescence. Its sudden invocation at Ashford Meadow carried both legal authority and grave consequence. Sir Duncan now had to find 6 knights who would stand with him. That night he sat in the Fossaway tent, and upon telling them of his plight, Sir Stephen Fossaway boldly claimed he would stand as his champion and could bring more to their cause, setting off into the night to recruit. Not long after, an unlikely fellow entered the tent, revealing himself as Prince Daeron, with Prince Aegon close at heel. It was there that Prince Daeron apologized for his lie, knowing it may well kill Sir Duncan. He vowed to withdraw his accusation, though admitted it would not help unless Aerion withdrew his, and he promised to yield after the first tilt, taking himself out of the match. He then told Sir Duncan of a dream of a great beast, a fallen dragon lying dead atop a still alive Sir Duncan on a meadow, and then took his leave into the night. The field at Ashford Meadow was prepared again, not for sport, but for judgment. A trial by 7 had not been seen in a century. When Sir Duncan took the field that morning, he was shocked to see men waiting to stand with him. The grizzled old one-eyed Sir Robin Riesling, the bold young knight Sir Humphrey Beesbury, brother-in-law to Sir Harding. The injured Sir Humphrey Harding was eager to take his revenge on the man who had killed his horse and broken his leg. He was mounted on the horse he had claimed from Aerion when he was declared victor of their bout, and none other than the laughing storm himself, Lionel Baratheon, eager to test his steel against the Kingsguard. However, one man was noticeably absent from the group. When Sir Stephen Fossaway finally appeared, he revealed his true nature. He had turned his cloak and taken up on the opposing side. Aerion had promised him a lordship for his services. Raymond Fossaway, however, disowned his cousin's decision and refused to continue to be his squire, instead turning to Sir Duncan and asking to be knighted so he could take up Sir Duncan's cause and become their 6th man. At that moment, however, he was summoned by Lord Ashford. So the laughing storm agreed to knight the young man himself. Sir Raymond decided to paint a green apple on his shield instead of a red apple, lest he be mistaken for his dishonorable cousin. One problem remained, however. Sir Duncan stood with only 5 other champions. If he could not find another, his cause was lost. When he approached Aerion and Lord Ashford, they confirmed as much. But Lord Ashford allowed Sir Duncan one final chance to appeal to the lords and knights of Westeros, gathered in the stands to watch. He appealed to those gathered, singling out a few among them. Manfred Dondarrion, the Grey Lion, Lord Swan, and Karen, but no response came. He appealed to the Brood of Bracken, Ser Otho, known to be a great champion. He at least deigned Sir Duncan with a reply saying, his cause may well be just, but it was Sir Duncan's cause and not his to take up. As all hope seemed lost, he let out one final cry. Are there no true knights among you? And at that moment, his pleas were answered. A voice cried out, I will take Sir Duncan's side. A black stallion emerged, and for a moment, it seemed none other than Prince Valar had taken Dunk's side. But in truth, it was Prince Baelor, hand of the king and heir to the Iron Throne, wearing the armor of his son, having brought none of his own. 7 stood for the claimants. Prince Aerion and Prince Darren were joined by Prince Maekar Targaryen, Sir Steffan Fossaway, and 3 knights of the King's Guard, Sir Roland Craighall, Sir Donald of Duskendale, and Sir Willem Wild. Prince Baelor advised Dunk's champions to use tourney lances, which would strike before their opponents' shorter war lances in the opening tilt. He also noted that the 3 knights of the King's Guard on the opposing side would be sworn not to harm him, allowing him to safely engage them. Some men prayed. Some men calculated. One man smiled. The fight was brief and chaotic. Blows were exchanged without ceremony. Sir Humphrey Beesbury was slain by Sir Donald of Duskendale in the first pass. Sir Willem Wild was grievously wounded and carried from the field. Sir Humphrey Harding would later die of the wounds he received. Sir Raymond fought his cousin blow for blow, with both leaving the field standing. The Laughing Storm fought alongside Prince Baelor against Prince Maekar. During the trial, Aerion put his lance through Duncan's side and struck him from the saddle with a morning star. However, Duncan refused to yield and used his skills as a brawler from Flea Bottom to beat the prince down, hitting him in the head with his shield until the crest of his helm broke off. When Duncan threatened his eye with a dagger, Aerion yielded and withdrew his accusation. Duncan forced Aerion to repeat his submission before Lord Ashford, ending the threat to Dunk's other champions. Sir Duncan was declared innocent. Yet it was not the Hedge Knight whose loss would echo across the realm. During the struggle, Prince Baelor received a blow to the head. When his helmet was removed, the full extent of the injury became apparent. It It is widely believed that the strike came from his brother Prince Maekar, though no malice was ever recorded. The chaos of 7 against 7 made certainty impossible. Baelor lingered only briefly. He died of his wound in the arms of the man he had given his life for. He had entered the trial to defend a hedge knight of no renown. And when the dust had settled, the Prince of Dragonstone, hand of the king and heir to the Iron Throne, lay dead upon the meadow of Ashford. After the conclusion of the tournament, Maekar sent Aerion to Lys in hopes that a few years in the Free Cities would change him for the better. And in a surprising decision, he allowed his fourth son, Aegon Targaryen, to accompany Sir Duncan the Tall on his journeys through Westeros as the knight's squire. Prince Maekar is said to have observed the anniversary of his brother's death each year thereafter. The death of Prince Baelor did not merely end a life. It altered the line of succession. Baelor had been heir to King Daeron II. With his passing, the inheritance moved to his son, Prince Valar Targaryen. Yet fate proved unkind to that branch of the dragon. In 211 AC, the Great Spring Sickness claimed his life and the life of his younger brother Matares. Thus, the line of Baelor Breakspear ended. Tens of thousands perished during the pandemic, both high and lowborn alike. Even a king was not safe. Daeron II Targaryen, known as the Good, also succumbed to the sickness that swept through the realm. The crown passed instead to Baelor's younger brother, Prince Aerys, who would reign briefly as King Aerys I. After him, the throne would fall to Prince Maekar, the same Maekar who had stood at Ashford Meadow. However, the events of that day would forever haunt him. He took no joy from ascending to the throne. It was said that Maekar often claimed receiving the throne was his punishment for the blow that slew his brother. From Maekar's line would come a king shaped not by court but by the road. Prince Aegon, once a boy called Egg, who watched the lists at Ashford and saw his uncle die. When he later ascended the Iron Throne as Aegon V, some would say his views were forged not in the Red Keep, but in the dust of Ashford Meadow and the road that followed. It was not the tilt nor the melee that made Ashford Meadow endure in memory. It was a trial of 7, the first in a century, in which a prince died defending a hedge knight. The banners were taken down, the pavilions were struck, the field returned to quiet. But the consequences endured for a generation, and so the chronicles leave us with the question that followed the tourney into history. Was one hedge knight worth the life of Baelor Breakspear?